I don't know. I think cis people are just kind of like gross and stinky, and when you get near them, you can just smell the on them. Like, they're so gross.
You hear that, guys? We are gross. Imagine that. Imagine being told by Sid the Sloth himself that we are gross. What's up, boys and girls? Welcome back to Clown World. Today, some more tomfoolery. But before we get into any other of the videos, let's carry on with the one we were just watching. I want to hear what the reasoning is from this person on why we are disgusting. Just want to preface that if it was the other way around and I was saying that, oh, I'm not going to say it because I'll get demonetized, we're gross. Oh my God, there'd be an uproar, wouldn't there? But somehow, if we say it like this, it's perfectly acceptable because we're privileged and we're the worst and we suck, right, guys? Let's have a look.
I can hear my roommate laughing. I would never live with a cis person. That's why I live with my roommate, HM. Because, like, you really just, your parents gave you a name, pronouns, and a gender, and you kept it? Like, that is so lame. Like, get a life and your own gender. Like, get a little creative. Come on.
Yeah, come on, Buster Rooney. What do you mean? You have other things to worry about. What? A job? Nah, I've never heard of a job. I don't know about that. But let me tell you about my pronouns real quick. What do you mean there's more things that are more important in life than pronouns and my gender? There simply isn't. It is everything in my world, and I would simply not live with someone that... Get this, guys. It's pretty funny. They're reassigned gender from birth. Ugh. Am I right? Isn't that grim? No, not me. I wouldn't do that. I like using all the pronouns because they are fun.
The last video in the series for now will be about making an inclusive classroom. Some things that you can do start by replacing gendered language and documentation, like any of these terms, with more neutral language. It can be things like, instead of referring to class as ladies and gentlemen or boys and girls, things like class, folks, or friends. Those are all good alternatives.
They just don't see it, do they? It's like, if that really is your number one top priority in things in which that you stress about and are worried about in life, you have... Dude, you have life so good. Could you imagine even just going off the basis of something that everyone knows, a starving African child? Could you imagine if this is something that they would worry about? Well, yeah, water would be great, but you know what would be even better actually, is if you could stop calling us boys and girls in classroom. I know we've only just got education and whatnot, and that's great, but all this transphobia in the classroom, man, it's really starting to wind me up. It ruins it for the rest of the people that have simply sat there, maybe spent a lot of money to even be there. You know what I mean? Imagine paying into college tuition or even going to university and probably going to be paying that off for a long time to come. And now your classrooms are just being bombarded with stuff like this. It doesn't matter what you call me. Let me just learn on what I'm supposed to be learning. Especially if you're spending money to be there and get the degree in the first place. Bro, you could call me anything. I don't care. Just teach me.
Including your pronouns in your email signature, like this, is a really great way to show students when they email you that you are accepting of the pronouns that they use and that you're willing to work to try and use the proper ones.
I'm just saying, if I'm trying to learn about biology or science, especially biology, hey? And if my teacher says, hey, what's up? It's Mr. Smith. He/him. What's up, my fellow students? It would leave me not with a whole lot of hope. You're really starting to distract away from the most important things here, in which like I mentioned previously, I'm here to learn. I'm not here to find out what every single person's pronouns are and if there's any more genders. Or maybe there's even new pronouns that I don't care about any of that. And it's great for the people that do, and absolutely, I'll always be respectful. But now trying to really drown out what's important here and trying to ram it down our throats. For example, even at the beginning, they called me a cis male is what I would be, right? I'm a boy. I wouldn't call myself a cis anything. It's not something I care about, but they won't respect that. And then they put a pronoun onto me, which I always find very hypocritical, considering they tell us not to do that, but they're happy to do that and correct us. If we do it back to them, that they are very mad about that. I just don't think this is extremely important in this situation when it comes to learning. There's more important things that teachers could probably do with their time to benefit the class instead of making sure they don't always say boys and girls, and the teacher puts his pronouns in on an email. Is that really what's important? Well, I was going to pass, but I didn't see you ever put he, him in the email, so I guess that's why I failed, Mr. Smith. Thanks. If I had known what your pronouns were, I would have got 100% on that test. It was just the back of my mind the whole time. It distracted me. Thanks a lot.
Another great thing that you can do when asking for pronouns at the beginning of the year is ask whether or not you can use those pronouns with parents. Some students are out at school but not at home due to safety reasons, so making sure that you ask whether or not you can use those pronouns at home, and if not, which pronouns to use instead, can ensure that a student's safety is not compromised.
Safety isn't compromised. In what world are we really now saying that if you use the wrong pronouns, it's a safety concern? It might annoy you a little bit, but you don't drop dead. I think they actually believe that you drop dead. You kill someone. If you use the wrong pronouns, that's it. They cease to exist. If you use the wrong pronouns, they will die on the spot. And it's not good. Like, what do you think happens? You use the wrong pronouns? Oh, well, nothing happens. Maybe it was just a simple misunderstanding or a mistake. Your classmate doesn't just explode in the corner of your, you must have used the wrong pronouns.
And lastly, making mistakes. It's okay to make mistakes. It's a natural thing to mess up. However, when you do mess up, don't draw too much attention to the mistake.
That's ironic coming from someone like this, isn't it? Yeah, don't draw too much attention to it if you do make it. It's the people like this that draw the attention to it. Believe me, I ain't losing any sleep if I accidentally misgender someone. But oh my God, they're making a fucking big deal about it. It's not me that's making the big deal about it. Don't make a big deal about it. It's them. Are you kidding me? And the most amazing thing about this is it could literally be the worst person ever. I could literally be talking about Hitler. And if I used his wrong pronouns, people in the comments will generally be upset with me. Look at Blaze, I know that murderer just murdered a whole entire family and burnt down an orphanage, but his pronouns are he, him. Let's be respectful. Otherwise, I gotta be quite frank, Blaze, you're equal to him. Really? Am I now? Okay.
Simply correct it and move on. Because drawing way too much attention to it can create a really uncomfortable situation and accidentally out students to people who might not have noticed the mistake in the first place. Simply correct and move on, and if you feel the need, you can apologize later in private. However, bringing too much attention to it, as I said, can cause more issues than it helps.
Apologize for using the wrong pronouns? Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me, student. Lol, man, I hope he forgives me. I mean, you have to apologize. It's 2023. People are being cancelled for less. And if you don't think it's a big deal in schools to be doing this, have a look at what this one young fella said when talking about the situation and how it makes him feel. And remember, we're all human beings, so we're absolutely all within our right to talk about what matters to us. Just because you don't agree with someone doesn't mean or give you the right to shut them down instantly, like the people in the previous video. Sure, it's kind of funny to make fun of them, but they're well in their right if they want to say that type of stuff. But I want to show you this clip real quickly as well.
In the 7th, 10th grade at Nichols Middle School, I appreciate the opportunity to speak to you today. I never thought that the shirt I wore to school on March 21st would lead me to speak with you today. On that Tuesday morning, I was taken out of gym class to sit down with 2 adults for what turned out to be a very uncomfortable talk. I was told that people were complaining about the words on my shirt, that my shirt was making some students feel unsafe. Yes, words on a shirt made people feel unsafe. They told me that I wasn't in trouble, but it sure felt like I was. I was told that I would need to remove my shirt before I could return to class. When I nicely told them that I didn't want to do that, they called my father. Thankfully, my dad supported my decisions and came to pick me up. What did my shirt say? 5 simple words. There are only 2 genders. Nothing harmful, nothing threatening, just a statement I believe to be a fact.
Well, I don't know, bro. You gotta take that shirt off a bit. I'm feeling pretty threatened right now. I mean, I could die at any second. My life is quite literally in danger. Don't really see an issue with that. If someone like this wants to practice their beliefs in the same way that there's not an issue to suddenly now be putting gay pride flags all across the schools, litter the hallways with all that kind of stuff, why would another student's right to express his rights be triumphed by other students? So like this young guy came in and was like, you know what, these rainbows really make me feel pretty threatened. Like, I feel like my life's in danger when I see a rainbow.
I have been told that my shirt was targeting a protected class. Who is this protected class? Are their feelings more important than my rights? I don't complain when I see pride flags and diversity posters hung throughout the school. Do you know why? Because others have a right to their beliefs just as I do. Not one person, staff, or student told me that they were bothered by what I was wearing. Actually, just the opposite. Several kids told me that they supported my actions and that they wanted one too. I experienced I was told that the shirt was a disruption to learning. No one got up and stormed out of class. No one burst into tears. I'm sure I would have noticed if they had. I experience disruptions to my learning every day. Kids acting out in class are a disruption, yet nothing is done. Why do the rules apply to one yet not another? I feel like these adults were telling me that it wasn't okay for me to have an opposing view. Their arguments were weak, in my opinion. I didn't go to school that day to hurt feelings or cause trouble. I have learned a lot from this experience. I learned that a lot of other students share my view. I learned that adults don't always do the right thing or make the right decisions. I know that I have a right to wear a shirt with those 5 words. Even at 12 years old, I have my own political opinions, and I have a right to express those opinions. Even at school, this right is called the First Amendment to the Constitution. My hope in being here tonight is to bring the school committee's attention to this issue. I hope that you will speak up for the rest of us so we can express ourselves without being pulled out of class. Next time, it may not only be me. There might be more students that decide to speak out. Thank you for your time and good night.
Thanks.
Oh my god, bro. Couldn't have said it better myself. Quite literally could not have said it better myself. He absolutely hit every single nail on the head. And do you know 100% in which the teachers took this kid out and made him change his shirt were the ones who were offended? But as the young guy stated, he should be absolutely well within his right to practice his own beliefs. And absolutely he should. Just an absolutely wild one for the last one. I don't think I've ever seen such a well-spoken 12-year-old, especially whenever I go on TikTok. This was quite a shock for me. I'm normally seeing kids eating Tide Pods or something. I don't know. This was very impressive to me. This was impressive to you guys. Make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment down below, helps the algorithm, spreads this video around, and I'll see you all in tomorrow's video. Bye-bye.